Welcome to the show. Brock Page here, and may you stomp on your bookie's testicles today. Atlanta's at Chicago tonight for a 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off. This one opened up as a pick'em contest with the total at 198.5. Since the betting opened up, however, most of that early action's come pouring in on Chicago as expected. Right now, the Bulls are minus 3.5 with the total moving upward to 201.5. Currently, the Bulls are the 3-2 favorites to win this one outright. And at the moment, we've got just about 50% of the public money on Atlanta, so look for that line to stay put, at least until the early afternoon today. Now, if you're betting sides in this one, the trends actually favor Chicago to get the job done, believe it or not. The Bulls against the spread are 2-1 overall and 1-0 at the United Center. In addition to going 2-1 covering after a day of rest, the Chicago team has successfully covered the points in their last two straight. They're going up against an Atlanta team who's been meh against the numbers so far. Atlanta against the spread is 2-2 overall, 2-2 traveling, 2-2 catching points. In addition to all that, this Atlanta squad has covered 2 of 4 as the official road underdog as well. All said and done, it seems that the trends tend to favor Chicago, but every one of those Chicago covers have come by way of catching double digits. The Bulls have been the double-digit underdogs every game thus far in the year. So although Atlanta hasn't been an absolute covering machine, catching 3.5 should be quite advantageous for Atlanta bettors. Now, total-wise, Chicago games are 2-1 to the overs. They gave up an average of 118 points per contest in those two overs. Meanwhile, similar story on the other side. Atlanta games are also 2-1 to the overs before Monday night's action at Miami. They're averaging 111 per game in those overs as well. All said and done, I think I can come to agreement with the public bettors on the scoring. And all told, I like Chicago. I'm going to buy the hook. Chicago plus 4, money line, and the over 201.5. Next game, Dallas at Memphis, 8 o'clock tip-off at the FedEx Forum. Memphis open 9, now 7.5. Total open 194, 197.5. Grizzlies 340 to win. Look for the spread to close just a little bit closer to that original opening number. Now, if you like the Grizzlies, hey, Grizzy, laying the points at home here, you're certainly justified. Against the spread, Memphis has gone 3-1 overall, 2-0 at FedEx, and 1-0 as the official home favorite. They've garnered themselves marquee covers over the likes of Houston and Golden State. They're going up against the Dallas squad, who put a hurting on them last night at home. That said, Dallas lost and failed to cover their last 3 straight. The Mavs against the spread are also just 1-4 overall, 0-1 traveling, and just 1 for 3 when catching points. Even worse, this Dallas team is 0-1 covering as the official road underdog and 0-1 covering in the second game of a back-to-back. All that in mind, looks like the case for Memphis bettors can certainly be made. Now, before I make my official pick, let's go ahead and take a look at the total real quick. And when it comes to the scoring, Dallas games are 2-0 to the overs in their last 2. They've also given up 111 points on average in their last 3 straight. Meanwhile, Memphis games are just 1-1 to the overs in their last 2, but they averaged 107 points of scoring in 2 of those 3 victories on the year. All told, the case for over bettors can certainly be made. And when it comes to selecting winner, I got to go against the current public money in this one. I'm buying the hook and taking Memphis minus 7. Memphis money line over 197.5. Next game, Boston at Milwaukee. 8 o'clock Eastern tip-off at the downtown YMCA. Milwaukee opened 3.5, now 4.5. Total open 207, now 206.5. The Bucks are 170 to win it. Just 48% of the action's on the Celtics. If you're betting sides and you're leaning toward Boston in this one, I don't think you'll catch any more points by tip-off. I do, however, think you're completely justified in your decision-making, as this Boston team's been really good covering on the year. The Celtics team against the spread is 3-1 overall, 2-0 away from Boston, and 2-0 catching points. They're also 2-0 covering at the current point spread, and 2-0 covering as the official road underdog. In addition to all that, Boston against the spread is 3-1 against teams giving up more than 102 a game, and 3-0 after a day of rest. They're going up against a Milwaukee team who's been fairly lackluster against the points this year. Aside from garnering themselves a marquee cover over this very Boston team, the Milwaukee Bucks have covered just 1 of 3 at home and just 1 of 3 as the favorite. Most recently, this Milwaukee Ball Club's failed to cover in 2 of their last 3. All told, the case for Boston bettors can certainly be made. Now, scoring-wise, Boston games have gone 3-1 to the unders in their last 4. They're also giving up just 91 points in their last 2. Meanwhile, completely different story on the other side, as Milwaukee games are 3-1 to the overs themselves. All said and done, I'm going to flip a coin and say that the Celtics will control the pace of the game. Therefore, I'm going to fully agree with the bettors and take the under. I'm also going to buy the hook and fully disagree with the bettors on sides. All told, I like Boston +5 with the under 206.5. Next and final game for the show, Clippers +2.5 at Portland. Total open 216, now 211.5. Portland's 140 for some money line cash, and at the moment just 38% has action on the Clippers, so look for them to catch an extra half point by tip-off. Tough one to pick in this one, guys. Both of these teams have been outstanding against the number this year. Clippers are 3-0 covering overall, 1-0 on the road, 3-0 after a day of rest. Meanwhile, same song and dance on the Portland side. The Blazers against the spread are 4-0 overall, 1-0 in the friendly confines, and 3-0 laying the points. Portland's also 1-0 in their lone game at the current point spread. In addition to all that, the Trail Blazers are 3-0 covering after a day off, 4-0 covering against teams giving up more than 102, and 1-0 as the official home favorite. Hate to pick a side in this one. I have no clue. If you're watching this, please help me out. I have no idea who's taking this one down. Now, when it comes to the scoring, I think I have a little bit better beat on this pick, as Clipper games went 3-0 to the unders in their last 3. They're also giving up just 88 points per game. Meanwhile, on the other side, similar story for Portland games, as they're 3-1 to the unders themselves. Portland's given up just 88 points of scoring in those unders as well. All told, I think that total opening up it was just a little bit too high, and the early action's taking advantage of it. As far as I go, I don't mind if I do my damn self. All said and done, I'm foregoing a play on sides. I do, however, like the under 211.5 in this one. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.